at a shop where people are inhaling things in their lungs.
That is what the addict told us, and you heard in the story is the addict was like, look, this is how I got it. I got it all the time. She would even use different delivery services to go and pick it up when she didn't feel like going to pick it up. They would go in, buy it, bring it back to her.
I'm curious to have you explain how you went about deciding whether or not to say the name of the shop. I noticed you have tight shots on just the doors, not identifiable. I'm sure that was a choice.
Right, so essentially they're not breaking the law. Right? I mean, the Tennessee law says they can sell this. You know, you cannot sell it with the intention of using it for drug use. But these are businesses that are selling this. There's no law that says it can't be. But I will say in other states, including Louisiana just banned it altogether. The retail sale of this type of nitrous oxide is completely banned in Tennessee, in Louisiana, because our sister station down in New Orleans exposed this and the state legislature saw it, and they decided to ban it throughout the entire state.
That brings up a great point. What's been the reaction so far? The story's been out about a week, and where do you go from here?
So I think the interesting thing is that we got our digital response, like what do you call it? Amanda Hara is our morning anchor. She's also our digital director, and every Monday morning she puts out a recap of how all of our stories performed on digital, and it is I think the #1 story on YouTube and the #1 story on YouTube. So I'm sorry, YouTube and TikTok.
And TikTok.
So both of those, the story played extremely well. We're very cognizant when we do these stories not to advocate, because that's not our role as journalists. We can put them out to lawmakers, or we can put out the story, and if a lawmaker sees it, decides to take action, then we'll see. So right now, you know, they're not in session, but I did have one lawmaker reach out and say, whoa, this is something.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so now we just basically have to say, okay, you know, you guys decide to do something, great. Our job is just to expose it.
So you are not taking this piece and actively sending it out.
That's right.
If someone reaches out to you, then you can provide them the link.
That's right. Because I just feel like as our role as journalists, again, is to just expose, and then hopefully something good comes from it. We just know there's a lot of addicts out there. And the sad thing is, Lydia, is that I have heard from 2 other families of people who have said, this has wrecked my loved one. My loved one is an addict, and this is exactly how they got it. Is by going into these vape stores. And in one case, you know, we're talking to another family about doing a follow-up story, but their loved one ultimately died. And then you heard the addict in this story where she said that she was so addicted she had brain surgery because she had so many blood clots from inhaling it, and then after brain surgery she went back and kept using it. So that kind of gives you an indication of how dangerous this is.
And that's the job, that's the role here. You're not just going undercover for the sake of the glitz and glamour and the drama of TV. You're exposing a problem in the community, and then also hoping we're not advocating, but it is nice to hear from other people and continue to follow up on the story. You don't just leave it here and wash your hands of it and say, all right.
You say, on to the next one.
Right.
No, we'll do follow-up stories, and we'll see if lawmakers take action. And, you know, when we do these types of pieces, it's not just a one-time work. We'll continue to follow up.
And that's a huge vein of what the heart really of the investigative team is here, Jeremy being chief of that. So we so appreciate you, Jeremy, being in here with us. We've got just a minute and a half or so now before our 11 o'clock newscast with Holly Thompson and Amanda Harris starts, so you can catch that. Thank you in the meantime for joining us here for Behind This Story. I'm still clicking around learning these new camera shots, so we will leave you with our side shot here so you can see our setup, and hopefully you'll join us tomorrow again, 10:30 for Behind This Story.